Welcome to the Activity Time Podcast, hosted by the SLE marketing team.
Welcome back, Dons. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Activity Time. I'm Emilio.
And I'm Macy.
And we're the SLE marketing team.
In the previous episode, we discussed our experience with managing money and what outside sources are saying about how we should be managing it.
Today, we thought it would be a great opportunity to discuss with two fellow Dons about their experience with virtual learning and what it's like to be doing everything via Zoom as freshmen. Please welcome Drew Love and Jessica Crosby. Woo!
Welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Jessica, do you want to go first? Introduce yourself, share us your name, pronouns, hobby, your position with CAB, where you're calling in from.
Yeah, of course. So I am Jessica Crosby. My pronouns are she, they. I am calling from Las Vegas. It's a little hot, but I think you guys can relate to it. I am the upcoming Vice President of Communication and Marketing of CAB, Campus Activities Board. And I'm a simple person. I love crocheting, going to the park, reading. I don't really do much. I think that sums me up.
Yeah, and hey everybody, I'm Drew. I'm also a first year student. I am part of like USF here on campus, and I am the first year student representative. And I'm calling in from Michigan over here out in the Midwest. And my thing used to be, oh, it's so cold, but it's actually starting to get like warm outside, like warm in San Francisco, so I can't quite use the cold one anymore. But I always feel like it's such a weird thing answering my hobbies because I feel like I don't do anything like special. Like I literally wake up, go eat food, come home and sleep. So like, I don't know. I like to watch Netflix and like read books occasionally. I don't know. But yeah, it's happy to be here.
Thank you both for joining us and telling us a little bit about yourselves. But I can also relate to the hobbies question. I feel like I don't know what to say because I'm the same. I guess sleeping, like I'm really good at sleeping. So I guess we'll go on to our first question. So really, we just want to get a better understanding of how your first year went. So please tell us your first reaction to realizing that it was going to be online, and what did you envision it to be like?
Whoever wants to go first.
Okay. I think so for me, like look, like I never like I don't really even know what I really thought it was gonna be like, to be honest. Because like I had never done like online school before. And like honestly when my high school, like back in like last year in March when we like stopped going to school in person or like virtual, like all it was like our teacher just posting like little random like busy work for the rest of the year in Google Classroom. So I was kind of like, okay, is college gonna be like another year of that? Because that was kind of messy. We didn't really do anything. So I guess I kind of didn't really know what it was going to be about or like what was going to be kind of going on, like how online school would work. But obviously, like I don't even know. Like I guess I was just hoping it would be like fun still, like it would still be college or like something different. Like I think I was just really unsure of like kind of space we were stepping into. And then for me and also with like probably a lot of other first year students, like how am I gonna figure out how to do like online school for the first time, but also figure out how to like be a college student for the first time. So I think it was like kind of just like a lot of just like questions and wondering like what that whole experience was gonna be like was kind of like my first reaction and like thing I thought about the most.
Oh no, like absolutely. Like I didn't know what to expect from it. So I was kind of just like I wasn't like stressed about it, but I wasn't excited for it. I was like, it's just gonna happen. Like I'm gonna see what happens. Um, I don't know. It was kind of weird because I was still in the impression that we'll come back in spring. So I was like, okay, like it's only for a semester. I'll push through it. It's fine. But it was like really stressful because I saw all my friends going to like art on campus. They were going like to the classes, so be in dorms. And I'm over here in my room like typing away and stuff. So it just felt like I was kind of alone with my friends with the whole situation. But I was like, no worries. I'll be there in spring. It'll be fine. And then that didn't happen, but that's okay.
No, I felt that Jessica, like all my whole friend group, like everyone else went away to school. So I was like the only one here still. And I was like, y'all, not everyone leaving me behind. Like, what is going on? So I definitely was like, yeah, this is not like at all what I expected it to be. And even then, like at work, like teachers from high school, I would like run into them and they'd be like, oh my gosh, like you're here. Like, what are you doing here still? And I'd be like, girl, I don't know either. Just kind of like living right now. LOL. So I don't know. It was just kind of like funny, like just going through the whole thing.
No, I did the exact same thing. I was like working at the time. I was telling people like, "Oh, I'm gonna leave. I'll be gone," and then it got canceled. And I was like, "I'm still here." I was like, "Can I keep my job for another couple months?" And then it got canceled again. I was like, "Can I keep my job a little bit longer?" I was just kept pushing. I'm like, "Hey guys, I'm still here. I'll be gone eventually."
No, literally.
I definitely can relate to the both of you with that because I recently started another job outside at a local juice shop. And that was just kind of something, like I said, I've discussed in the podcast with Macy before, is just to get me out of the house. You know, it's like we're glued to our computers practically 24/7 and trapped in our rooms. And now with me going out, I'm seeing all these people that I used to see, like teachers, family, friends, and they're like, "What are you doing back here?" and stuff. And I'm like, well, the pandemic, yep, I'm supposed to be in San Francisco, but I'm not. But I mean, on the bright side, we all plan to be back in the fall. So, or at least have the option to either be remote or in person, which is nice. And something that leads me up to asking the two of you, I mean, can, I know you had said like there was some things you were really stressed out about, or just you had some worries. Was there anything, like, just curious, like excited about, or just like anything you took away from that, or like how you've grown, if that makes sense?
I think I was, I don't know how to put this. Like, I kind of wasn't excited about being online, but I know I have grown from it so much because in person you have those opportunities to talk to people before class, around campus and stuff like that. But when you're online, you only see people in your class. Like there's no, as soon as you're done, you log out, you never see them again. So that's kind of like I start pushing myself like, okay, you need your camera on, you need to talk to people, you need to answer every question in class, you need to message people if you see pets, like you tell them those pets are cute. I was like forcing myself to like communicate with people, joining clubs. If my teacher had like opening hours, whatever, I'll like join just to talk about my paper or whatever. Like I was making myself sure, like I was everywhere. I was like, I need to make sure I have this experience. So I'm going to be everywhere. And I'm a very shy person, but I think in this year I can talk to anyone without a problem. So I think that has definitely helped me in like the strangest way ever.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. Just like I feel like me and part of my whole coming to USF story was so much like part of like was so much like being in San Francisco. And so it was like, okay, now that that element is removed, like how else am I really gonna get excited about being here? So I think I was so intent on like, let me just get involved in every single thing I can, just meet people. And like, I don't know, it definitely was that. And just trying to put myself in like a new social scene. 'Cause obviously like high school is fun, but I don't know. I think I just wanted to like experience something new and change it up. And especially just like high school was so much just like a drag. I feel like it was a drag every single day. And it's like I'm waiting for this to be over. That like, I don't know, just I think I was excited to like explore what college was like and what learning as like a college student kind of was like. Just I don't know. I want something new, something different from like what I've been going on the last 4 years.
Adding on to that, Drew, I mean, this is definitely a unique experience your class has experienced that I think you'll never forget. And again, like what I've said in previous podcasts with Macy is, I mean, this is kind of the new normal. I mean, people are going to have the option, especially once when we graduate, to work remotely or in person. And we've just seen a lot of ourselves and how we adapt during these challenging times. And that's kind of why thank you both for sharing just a little bit more about that. Yeah.
100%. I think it's really cool, like how much technology has advanced to the point where we're able to, take advantage of something like remote learning. It's really cool to see everyone just kind of understand the grasp of it. But yeah, I do miss that like personal element, and I do think there's nothing that can really replace that. So I'm really glad that you guys really went out of your way to try and like really connect with others, because that's very special. And I'm pretty sure anyone that you connected with, I mean, they were just as grateful because they're probably looking for that same experience. I know I did. That's why I joined SLE too, because I really wanted to just connect with other students. So I kind of wanted to learn more about your remote learning experience. Are you guys home? How was that doing that with family or roommates? Yeah, I would love to learn more about that.
So I kind of have a full house. I have like 5 family members and 6 cats. So very hectic, like people coming all the time in classrooms. I have a little niece that has met all my professors. All my classmates love her. She comes in, she likes to learn with us, says hi. So it's like, it's a family thing now. Everyone's getting the same education as me. Everyone's in front of the class. I had to change my room so no one can see my door anymore because people kept coming in. And I was like, let me just stay focused. I don't want to let people come in. I know people don't mind it, but still, like, for me, I still want to feel like I'm in college. So I'm like blocking off the door, like this is my college dorm in my head. So this is like my only way I can keep in my space.
No, I definitely 100% relate to that, Jessica. Like my family, like my immediate family isn't huge. But like my mom is like works in a school teacher, and so she's been like at home the whole year teaching on Zoom. My brother did remote school learning, so everyone's like kind of on Zoom. And then on top of that, all like some of my cousins would come over and do their like remote learning from the house too. So our Wi-Fi, like we really put that through the works. And so I think it was a lot of just like, and then the other thing on top of it was like being in Michigan, the time difference definitely just like, I don't know, kind of changed my whole like way of learning. So I was in high school, like I was so used to like waking up early in the morning and going to school from like 7 to 3. But now being like here and doing school, like if I have a 9 a.m., that's not till like 12 p.m. in the afternoon. So it's kind of like trying to adjust my whole like life schedule to like going to school early in the day and then doing homework at night, to kind of trying to like, okay, let me be productive in the morning, then go to school. Like, I don't know, just trying to figure all that out. Which is definitely a struggle at first. Like last semester I had a class that was like from 6:30 to like 8:15 p.m. California time. And so that was like 9:30 at night to 11:15 here. And that was like, I don't know, that was just crazy to me. But like it was like a good class, so it was fun. But it was like just kind of trying to adjust and like work through some of those things was definitely a struggle. But I think it just really inspired me to like, I don't know, really be really consistent and really like intentional about how I like planned out my days. Like I started using a planner, which is like something I had never done in my life before. But I don't know, I think like remote learning has kind of helped me develop all these like small habits that hopefully I'll carry over like once we're in person. So I don't know, there's a struggle, but I think there's a lot of good things that actually came out of it in the end.
I have a question
Yeah.
to add. I'm sorry. Like, do you guys feel like your families are more understanding that you're doing college at home, or is it more of a struggle because now they're like barging in and they think that you're home, that you're available all the time?
The second option, like hands down. Like they don't get it. Like I at the beginning when the pandemic first started, I went back home. That was in Texas. So I can relate, Drew, with the hour difference. It just threw me off like so bad. So definitely my time management skills got a lot better after that. But my parents were just, my sister were just in and out. Like my cat, I mean, I don't blame my cat. Like he doesn't know any better. But like they just think I'm home. And it was so interesting to like experience that dynamic for sure.
I'm right there with Macy as well. Literally just right before us recording this podcast, I went downstairs to wash my bowl. I had a bowl of oatmeal and my dad was home and he was like wanting to talk. And I'm like, Dad, I got to record a podcast in 2 minutes. I got to get back in my room. So no, I definitely feel you all there. So, but we have had our moments and they know, like, of course, like we still want you to make sure you make the best of your college experience, still be on track to graduate because I still have one more year. Macy, she's planning to graduate. So yeah, so that's kind of me. I also have, I know, Drew, you had brought up something about just like habits and things that you weren't aware of before. And something I'm curious to ask you all too is like, what is one thing you have learned about yourself throughout this process of online learning?
I think there's so many things. I'm trying to think of like how like word. I don't know.
No worries. I mean, it's something that came up on the top of my head just now, but I thought that might be something our listeners would be curious to know. But if you don't have a response, we could always go back to it later.
Um, I would say I feel like I work a lot better when I have like a plan and a schedule. Like I'm not just kind of like going with the flow. Because if I just go with the flow, I'm gonna go to sleep and then see what happens after that. And that's never good. So I feel like I can work really well when I have like a really good plan. I like to like kind of write out my days I'm gonna do, make a little list. So I feel like I don't know, that's kind of like a little habit I developed. I think I've learned about myself. But also, I don't know, I think I've developed even worse habits at the same time. Because, like, for one thing, my procrastination, I was a horrible procrastinator. The thing about being here in Michigan is that, like, Canvas, like, doesn't realize, like, I'm in a different place. So, like, the time zone, it still thinks I'm in California. So, something that's due at midnight isn't really due here until, like, 3 a.m. So, like, I just like that. I've definitely like used that to my advantage multiple times. So I'm kind of worried about being like in person, like when it's due by midnight. I feel like I'm gonna forget, like, wait, like I have to actually do this by midnight. So I don't know. I think I've developed like both good and bad habits from being online. Like definitely.
That's really funny because I'm the opposite because I'm an early bird. So I do all my homework in the morning. Like everything, I love having classes in the morning. I wake up like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm ready for classes. I do everything. If I can go sleep by 8 p.m., I would. I could. There's no problem for that. So my stuff has me turning like by 6 p.m. I'm like, I don't have to worry about it because I'm going to sleep at 8. Like, no worries. So I'm kind of like the opposite of like most college people, but like I feel like that's my habit that I learned about myself.
It's so cool to see like the time management that also comes with this experience and what you learn about yourself. I agree. I throughout this experience, I'm more of a morning person. Like I never ever ever thought I would be like this, like ever. Um I'm like Drew. I like to, like just chill and go with the flow, but college definitely does like impact you in ways like that. So I think we talked about this about the beginning, but I would like to know like a little bit more in depth. Like how was it developing relationships virtually? Was it hard to experience like to connect with others or was it easier than expected?
I don't know if you can hear the plane. I don't know if you want me to talk or
I heard it for like 1 second and then it went away, so you're good.
okay, we're gonna push through it, okay? They like to fly around during this time for some reason. Uh Honestly, it was like it's hard to start it, but once you like get over that barrier, it's like so amazing. Cause I'm like that weird person. I love breakout rooms because that's when I can like corner people. I'm like, hey, what's your number? Can I get like, can we like talk outside class? Can we like get into like personal stuff? And most people like really engage with it. Like people like, oh yeah, of course we can talk. Of course. Oh my God, like no one really talks in here. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make you talk. Okay. Like I'm so like I'll push if I have to just to make that connection because I'm like, we're gonna be friends, whether you like it or not. And I think that's kind of just how it just flows. Like once you get over that barrier of things of being online, we're all doing this together. So I think people connect that way and people really want that connection. So I feel like I've been thriving off of that lately. I don't know.
I definitely feel like for me, like developing relationships, I feel like it's been kind of difficult because I am such a like extrovert and such a social person, but like me communicating with people online, I am the absolute worst. Emilio knows, like he texted me something, I don't remember, was it like Thursday or Friday? And like I didn't respond until like 2 days later, just because I'm so bad at responding to people online. Like I'm so bad at it. And like when like when things are like normal and like I'm like in person schools with people, it's like, oh, like if you text me, like we start conversation, but I like forget to keep it going. Like, oh, I'll see you the next day and we can pick it right back up. But like this, it is so hard because like that's the only way I can communicate with people. And I'm so bad at just responding to people on Instagram, on like anything. I'm so bad at it. So like, I don't know. I feel like it's been really difficult for me because like when I have to actively like be like, okay, I need to get back to these people. I need to respond to these messages. Like I need to keep these conversations going. But like at the same time, like I'm just like so bad at that. So I feel like it's been kind of difficult for me. So I'm really excited to be like in person so people can be like, oh, he's not rude. He doesn't like not like me. Like he's just really bad at like responding to like DMs. So yeah.
I feel you, Drew. Something I've taken away too with that is separating, I think, like work communication from like personal socially. you know, because like Macy and I, we usually message each other like on Slack, which is our platform we use for work. But like if we want to talk about something personal stuff, we'll just text about it. Yeah, that's definitely because like I'm the same way, and I definitely wonder. I'm like, oh my god, these people are gonna think I'm like, you know, like ignoring them or something like that. And it's like that's not the case, especially to all my friends that are listening to this right now. I love you all. I'm not mad. It's just, you know, a little overwhelmed with what's going on right now. But and like I said, ready for summer. But and speaking of summer and plans of the fall and looking into the future, the next question we wanted to ask you both is, what is something you are looking forward to in the fall?
I'm just gonna say San Francisco. I'm really being there. I've never been. I've never been on campus, so I'm excited just to be in the element. I see you guys' faces, like I know, but like oh my god, I feel like I'm so excited just to be in that environment. Like that's all I want right now.
No, literally, Jessica, I'm right there with you. And my expression was because I was literally in your exact same shoes. Like I kind of just picked to go USF like on a whim. And I was like, okay, like I'll get there eventually. Still hadn't been, whatever. But if you like last weekend or the weekend before that, I went to San Fran for the first time and like just being there, being on campus and getting to see it. I was literally on the plane on the way back, like I don't want to leave. Like I don't want to go back home. I don't want to leave this place. So I'm excited to like go back and just keep being there. And then like obviously like just being able to have like the rest of our class there and getting to hang out with people. Think it's gonna be so much fun. So I'm just ready for that.
That is so exciting to hear that. Like, you're gonna love it so, so much. I'm kind of like Jessica and you, Drew. Like, I just said I'm just gonna go to USF, and I didn't even think about like my clothes and planning for like the weather, but it does get a bit cold out here. I had a sunny idea of it, and I didn't come prepared, so I would definitely bring a warm jacket if you're used to the heat, because Houston is always hot, so it was a big transition for me. But the city is amazing and campus is gorgeous. Like I wish I could stay here forever, honestly. It's just beautiful. So I'm so excited that you're going to be experiencing this. And I guess that leads me to my next question. How does it feel like completing your first year of college? We're like almost there.
I feel like for me, almost like because I don't know, I just like my whole life, I've always lived my life like looking ahead. Like I remember being in like fifth grade, like, oh my gosh, high school. I remember like starting middle school, like, oh my gosh, college. And like even now in college, I'm like, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna do after college? But I feel like now that I'm here and doing it, like I'm kind of like, wait, like I can't believe like this is like I've been a college student. Like, wait, like this is like really happening. Like I'm done with my first year of college. And like I almost have the expression of like, wait, it wasn't hard. Not that it wasn't hard, because this is like one of the most difficult things I've ever done, but like still like the realization of like, wait, like I actually like went through this, like I completed it. And the whole idea of like I did this all online for a whole year, like I still can't even really process that because like I just never ever imagined myself being able to go to online school. And so like to have done it, like it's kind of just like crazy and like surprising to me. So I don't know. I think I'm just in shock that like we're like done with the year of college.
I know, like when you look back, it's like you can't really pick up moments because when you look back, it's just you on the computer the whole time. So you're like everything starts blurring together, so you don't really feel like it's been a year. But it's like you've done this hard thing, like you can like get through anything now. Like I'm rooting for us. I'm rooting for us.
Literally.
Oh, that was so sweet of what you had just said, Jessica, and um, kind of like adding on just like to our last question here, because Drew, you've really gotten to see yourself and Jessica yourself grow along with your peers virtually and through your experience with CAB and being the freshman representative. What is one piece of advice you would like to give to incoming freshmen?
I'm going to start with there's a lot of noise going on, so let's see if you can hear me. I'm going to say, like, talk to your teachers. Please talk to your teachers. Like, it's so, people don't understand how important that can be. Like, whether it's like academic or just like personal, you know, I have a teacher that I mentioned I'm interested in environmental like racism. And now he sends me emails on like events and like books and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's like that wouldn't have happened if we never talked to them about it. So I'm like, please just talk to them, like whether it's like casual or academic, like make a connection with the teachers. It makes you feel better when you know that you're submitting your work to someone who actually cares. So please make connections with your teachers. That's all I gotta say.
No, I definitely agree with you, Jessica. Like, I feel like this whole year, like trying to like build relationships with my professors is kind of just like, I don't know, helped me work through this, like made me a lot more comfortable in college, like being a college student. But I guess I would say like, I guess just don't be afraid to like, I don't know, get involved and like ask questions. Like I feel like a lot of times this year, I have moments where it's like, wait, should I be asking this? Should I be doing this? Like I'm a first year student. Like what do I really know? I've never been to the school. Like, oh, I'm a first year student. But I feel like trying to let that identity go and just kind of be like I'm a student here, like I belong here. We pay enough to go here. Like I can be here. I can ask these questions. I can be a part of these things. And just, I don't know, not being afraid to like walk into things and like be a part of things and like do what you want. So yeah, get involved.
Yes, if it's free, do it. Like that should be a rule. If it's free, do it. Like what's
Literally.
gonna stop you? Do it.
That is such great advice. Thank you both for coming on and sharing your experience. It's been refreshing to hear your voice. Emilio and I have like interviewed, a lot of people through our podcast, but we never really got to understand the freshman perspective until now. So thank you both for stepping up and doing that for us and for the community so that they can better understand what you all went through.
Yeah, Macy, you said it all there, and Jessica and Drew, thank you both for joining us today. We wish you the best on your finals, and I hope to see you both around in the fall. I've missed a lot of people, and looking forward to even meeting some of the people I've met virtually. So, couldn't thank you anymore, and we hope you both have a wonderful, safe summer, and like I said, we'll see you in the fall. And let's take it away now with our Phoenix announcements. So Network USF is our official online community that connects alumni and students from around the world for meaningful connections, professional development, and social interaction. Expand your professional and social networks, find other Dons near you, and offer or seek career advice. Register today and use the hub to connect by region, industry, degree, or any of the other main filters.
So check in with the career services this Thursday, May 13th at 11:45 Pacific time to have a quick resume review before you wrap up your semester. Leave with a resume that will get noticed by recruiters.
Need academic skills coaching? Sign up for one of the several opportunities hosted by the Learning Center to prepare for finals through the exploration of time management, goal setting, and study planning techniques.
And to wrap it all up, we do have a quote that we want to share with everyone. So the one we have today is: the secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. And I feel like this definitely speaks true to what we're going through. We just have to keep building on such a new experience for all of us. So yeah, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, and this has been Activity Time. Woo!
Thank you.